Okay, Algebra 2. We got the updated schedule. Today should be the 28th, and we're on Unit 6, and we're actually doing 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8. Little mistake there. 6, 7, and 8. All right. So it should be on the YouTube notes here. So what was in this unit? The zero property law was the big thing. But there's some other stuff too. But setting things equal to 0 and solving. So here, this one's already kind of factored. It is factored for us. It's all factored. So we got 5x, x minus 7 quantity squared, and 3x plus 2 equal to 0, which means any one of these parts is equal to 0, like 5x could be equal to 0. When would that happen? When x is 0. So 0 is one of the solutions. All right, I got x minus 7 squared equals 0. So if I took the square root of 0, I still get 0. And then if I add 7, I get 7. Now there's a little trick going on here though. I probably should have solved this a little differently, because it's not just 7. It could also be negative 7. If you put negative 7 in there, right? Got to think about that. No, just positive 7. Just positive 7, right? If you put positive 7 in there, take away 7, you get 0 squared. So it's just positive 7. All right, and then we got 3x plus 2 equals 0. Subtract 2 and divide by 3. So end up with negative 2/3. So this is what I'm looking for, this answer. I want 0, I want 7, I want negative 2/3. Right there, choice 3. Okay. Here's another one, it's already factored for us. It says, which of the following would not be a factor? So again, well, first of all, 5, you could split this up into 4 parts, I guess. You could say, is 5 equal to 0? When does that happen? Never. X plus 4, when does that equal 0? When x is negative 4. You could probably just look at these and get this. When x is 3, and when x is, now this one's a little tougher, you got to subtract 1, divide by 2. So it's going to be negative 1/2. So those are the 3 roots. Well, which one is not a root? It's right here. Negative 5 is not a root. All right, what else was in this unit? These units here, we had quadratics, inequalities. They were called quadratic inequalities. So when is this greater than 0? So here's all the choices, and they gave you a graph. So you could do this with the graph. So you could see, when is it equal to 0? Right there, that looks like 3. And back here, 5, 6, 7. Back here at negative 7. And we want to be greater than 0. So I want to be above, over. Strictly greater than, so I should put like an open circle there, an open circle there. And which way do I want to go? I want to go off to the right this way, and I want to go off to the left that way. So that's what I'm looking for, which is choice 2, open circles and going apart. Okay. Well, what if they didn't give you this graph? Well, A, you got a graphing calculator, but what's the other way of doing it? It's going back to what we did in the last review, factor. That's a trinomial, and you would say, hey, I think I can figure this out. It's got to be x and x. Multiply and give me 16, and add up to 6. How about 8 and 2? 8 times 2 is 16. Negative 8, positive 2. Pretend like it's equal to 0. Okay, even though it's an inequality. Put the equal sign there. Split it up. Use the zero product law. You're going to get 2 answers, 8 and negative 2. So I know negative 2 is a root, and 8 is a root. I want to be open circles because it's a strict inequality. I want to be less. So pick something in between here and here, such as 0. That's a good choice. If you plug 0 in, you would get negative 16 less than 0. That's a true statement. So you would be shading in between, right? So if I was doing the number line, I'd be looking for this. Now I'm looking for the inequality that says I want to be in between right here. I want x to be bigger than negative 2, less than 8 at the same time. All right, what else was in this unit? One more thing we got to do is it's called completing the square. Complete the square. So again, you could kind of cheat on this as multiple choice and use your calculator, but I'm going to show you the process of completing the square. So if we got 3x squared minus 24x plus 55, it's equal to y. Okay. It's not equal to 0. And when we group the first 2, I cannot have that 3 there though. I got to take that 3 out. So I'm just taking the 3 out. I get x squared. 3 comes out of here 8 times. And I'm going to leave some space. And I'm going to leave the 55 back here. And now we're going to complete the square. So what is half? Remember the magic number? Half of that is -4, and I square that number and I get 16 plus 16. But I really did 3 times 16, which is 48. So out here I have to take away 48. 3 times 16 is 48. I have to subtract 48 to maintain that equality. I'm done. So what do I end up with? X minus 4, the magic number, squared. That 3 comes down, and then 55 take away 48 is 7. All right, so if you may remember, this is the vertex point. So where's the vertex point? It'd be 4, 7. But we're looking for the correct answer over here, which is choice 4. But they could change this and just say, yeah, where's the vertex point? And you could find that now for just by looking at the equation. We'll do more of those on the back. Given this function, when is the output 15? So I don't know what the input is. I can't put anything in, but I know it's equal to 15. I want to use the zero product law, so I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides to set it equal to 0. I end up with 21. 21 equals 0. All right, a little tougher one on FOIL, but not that tough because it's got to be 2 and 1. 21, I'm going to go out there and say 7 and 3, but which way? 7 and 3. Maybe 7 here, 3 there. Let's try it. The outer's 6. The inner is 7. And yes, I can get 13. They both have to be negative. Both have to be negative for me to get negative 13x. And that works because last time's last could be positive 21. All right, so then I come over here. 2x minus 7, when is that equal to 0? When is x minus 3 equal to 0? This was the easy one. We get 3. This one's pretty easy also. Add 7. And then divide by 2. So 7 halves. 3.5 if you're in love with fractions, or decimal numbers, right? Yes, okay. All right, just like we did on the multiple choice, so now it's free response. I want to solve this and graph it on the number line. So again, it's a trinomial, I just want to unfoil this, and I got to go. All right, it's got to be x and x. 35, 7 and 5, can't think of much else. 7 times 5 gives me 35. Positive 7, negative 5. I'm going to pretend like it's equal to 0. I know it's an inequality. Pretend like it's equal. Split it up. I got to get negative 7. Add 5, you get 5. So on my number line, I know 5. It's a strict inequality. I'm going to put an open circle. Negative 7, open circle. Do I shade in between? Do I split it apart? Remember, it's one or the other. Test 0. If I plug 0 in there, I get negative 35 greater than 0. That's false. So if this is false, then I want to shade away from 0. You could test some other numbers if you want. You could plug a 7 in there, see if it works. Okay, but it'll be true. So if this is false, then the rest has got to be true. It's going to split apart. There's the number line. If they said write it as an inequality, you'd say, all right, x such that x is less than negative 7 or x is greater than 5. I didn't put that in the directions, but that's how you would answer that. All right, back to that completing the square process. So I got an easy one, I got a tougher one. I'd recommend you pause the video and try it on your own, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. So on the easy one, why is this easy? I grouped the first two, I don't have to take anything out, and I could just start completing the square. So I got x squared minus 8x, leave some space, plus 3, half of that is negative 4, just like the other one. Square it, I get 16. Well, if I add 16, I gotta subtract 16. So what do I end up with? X minus 4 squared, and then here I get minus 13. So there's my parabola in vertex form. Where's the vertex point? Where's the turning point? The vertex point would be 4 comma negative 13. So there's the equation. There's the vertex point. Here's a tougher one. Again, try and do it on your own first. But it's very similar to the one I did on the other side. So I'm going to group the first two, and I'm going to say I got to get that 3 out of there. What am I left with? X squared minus 4x, some space, plus 23. Half of that is negative 2. Square it, you get 4. But it's really 12. So out here I have to take away 12. Take away 12. Okay. So what do I end up with? The magic number, x minus the magic number squared. I still got the 3 there. 23 take away 12 gives me 11. Where's the vertex point? Parentheses lie. That's not lying. There's the vertex point. You could obviously put this in your calculator and check to see if that's the vertex point. All right. You haven't seen the last review. I had a bunch of these. We have 4 terms. Solve using algebra. All right, solve using algebra. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to group. I'm not going to complete the square, but I am going to do the grouping thing because there's 4 terms. I can't unfoil this. I got that minus sign there. I'm going to make that a negative 8. So let me rewrite this. 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus negative 8 minus 12 equals 0. What can I take out of here? I can take out x squared. I'm left with 2x plus 3. What can I get out of there? Minus 4 can come out. And I'm left with 2x plus 3. What a coincidence. My common binomial. So I'm not completing the square. This is common binomial. Now I'm going to take out the 2x plus 3. I'm left with x squared minus 4. Oh, that's adopts. So I get 2x plus 3, x minus 2 and x plus 2 equal to 0. I split this up. I'm running out of room, so I'm just going to say what the answers are. I get 2. I get negative 2. And what about this? This turns into negative 3 halves. So I wanted to show you one of these. I don't know, we didn't have one of these, but it was on the last lesson. It's the common binomial method, and we get 3 roots. Why? Because it was a cubic. All right, so you're going to see one of these on the independent work. Similar questions, 9 questions, extremely similar to the video. So if you get stuck on, whatever, you get stuck on number 9, come back and watch this one. You get stuck on number 8, go back and watch it. Okay, stay safe out there.